We have some breaking news for you right now. President Trump has agreed tonight not to terminate NAFTA at this time.
President Trump fulfills a key campaign promise, scoring a big win. Canada agreeing to join a new trade deal with the U.S. and Mexico.
And people who have looked at both of our plans have concluded that mine would create 10 million jobs and yours would lose us 3.5 million jobs and explode.
You are going to approve one of the biggest tax cuts in history. You are going to approve one of the biggest tax increases in history. You are going to drive business out. Your regulations are a disaster, and you're going to increase regulations all over the place. And by the way, my tax cut is the biggest since Ronald Reagan. I'm very proud of it. It will create tremendous numbers of new jobs. But regulations, you are going to regulate these businesses out of existence. We are going to enforce all trade violations against any country that cheats.
Trade and NAFTA, if you recall, almost every campaign stop, he said NAFTA was the worst deal ever made. So what Donald Trump has now said, not 100 days into his presidency, that after having concluded for 10 years that this was the worst deal America ever made, he's going to keep it.
We need to do to get the economy going again. That's why I said new jobs with rising incomes, investments, not in more tax cuts that would add $5 trillion to the debt.
But you have no plan.
Oh, I do.
Secretary,
in fact,
you have no plan.
A book about it. It's called Stronger Together. You can pick it up tomorrow.
That's about all you
folks, at the bookstore or at an airport near you.
We're going to move
to bring those jobs back. You have to make it so that it is just punitive to make anything in Mexico, and that means that you have to either change the terms of NAFTA or scrap NAFTA. And I am saying that if you're going to fight this battle, you're going to lose it.
Who's going to lose it?
Trump will lose NAFTA. He will not be able to change NAFTA overnight. This may not be something that's so easily done, as opposed to deregulation, tax reform, repatriation.
A deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported strongly by crooked Hillary. Remember, every time you see a closed factory or wiped out community, the Clintons really did this to you. NAFTA was a disaster.
Eugene, what about this idea that he might not believe in anything, that he'll say anything? I mean, I think we could have played 45 minutes of tape of him railing against NAFTA, a deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported by crooked Hillary. I mean, the last president, a Democratic president, supported the TPP. I mean, trade creates strange bedfellows. But NAFTA was up there with the wall in terms of something that even Donald Trump's detractors thought he believed in.
Issue and problem for Trump going forward is, where are the deals? When is he going to start making these great deals that he promised to make?
Look, details. Make no mistake, this is a big political win for President Trump. It's a promise made, promise kept. He's feeling good about it. He's going to talk about it, of course, in this 11 o'clock Rose Garden event. But he's also been tweeting about it. But yeah, I think that the top line takeaway is that this opens Canada up to farmers, frankly, who have been feeling the heat of the China tariffs. And so this is a big win for Wisconsin. Wisconsin helped deliver the White House to President Trump.
Doubt it. So far, his record on deal making has not been good at all.
We are back with a Fox News alert. President Trump scoring a huge win for American workers, reaching a trade deal with our North American neighbors.
The president tweeting moments ago, congratulations to Mexico and Canada.
Yep.
Well, I think it's mostly political theater. In other words, the first thing everybody should remember about Mr. Trump is that he's a poser. He makes statements, he tries to capture the attention, and he's certainly achieving that by upending, overthrowing many years of accommodations that the major trading partners in the world, the United States, Europe, Japan, Canada, and so on, have worked out.
When is he going to start making these great deals that he promised to make?
What could you tell us about the deal that was reached last night?
Well, it's the biggest deal in history, no hyperbole. $1.2 trillion in trade. A great day for America, great day for North America.
And to speak to the American people to share truly historic news for our nation.
Role. The whole idea that we were asleep at the wheel or that every past president was unable to get a good deal that Mr. Trump is now going to get for us is the kind of posing that you shouldn't take seriously.
But look, details, details. Make no mistake, this is a big political win for President Trump. It's a promise made, promise kept.
Good morning. It's my great honor to announce that we have successfully completed negotiations on a brand new deal to terminate and replace NAFTA and the NAFTA trade agreements with an incredible new US-Mexico-Canada agreement called USMCA. It sort of just works. MCA.
Do this. It's a promise made, promise kept. I mean, everybody criticized this president for trying to undo NAFTA, which was the worst trade deal we ever had. But today, it looks like it's done.
Yeah. Peter, what is your message to the critics of the president who, when he was talking about we got to get rid of this trade deal and that trade deal, they go, he's going to screw up everything. And now it looks as if better deals were possible.
Two messages, Steve. One is that quietly, President Donald J. Trump is putting together a record on the economy and trade, which is better than any president in modern history. I said quietly because the media has largely ignored it. And to his critics on Capitol Hill and in the media, every time you criticize this president for being too tough, you undermine this ability of this administration to negotiate tough on behalf of the American people. The president has ignored that criticism to his credit. He stood tall. And look, Steve, we got NAFTA done. NAFTA's dead. New agreement today. But last week, we also signed that South Korean deal. We were able to enter into new negotiations with Japan. And I got to tip my hat here to Ambassador Robert Lighthizer and Jared Kushner, who worked together as a team to bring this to the finish line because it went right up to that 11th hour.
Yeah.
I am your voice.
That mine would create 10 million jobs and yours would lose us 3.5 million jobs.